Okay,
Weird.
let's start.
Thank you.
Yeah. Where are
I
you
think
based
it's
out of?
currently at Jaipur.
Okay, nice.
Right. So Patang started in Delhi, but now it's in Jaipur.
Awesome, awesome. All right, awesome. It looks like we've got an amazing crowd with us today. Let's just wait for like 5 more minutes because I know the other session just ended like a couple of minutes ago. So let's just wait for people to join the link because it was sent to them on email. So
Right.
just let's give it like 5 minutes for them to join and then we'll begin.
Sure. And I believe this one is going to be the last session for today.
Yes,
Right.
yes,
So I will have some leeway to
yes.
overshoot 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, we'll just wait a couple more people to join and then we'll begin.
Right.
All right, I think a lot of people have entered. I think we're good to go. Just I'll quickly introduce you. So, hey everybody, I'm Vanchika. I've been your host for today, and today's last session is going to be hosted by Tarun. He's the co-founder and merchandising head at Utpatang. He's got 11 years of experience in marketing, merchandising, advertising, e-commerce, name it, and he's done it. Today, his session is going to be all about merchandising as an affordable way to sell more product. And unlike the paid tactics that we're used to seeing, merchandising is obviously a very low cost tool. So he's going to teach you everything you need to know about making merchandising thoughtful and appropriate to market your business. Welcome, Tarun. Welcome to the Digital Asia Summit. Lovely to have you here. Just to kickstart with some positivity, tell us one awesome thing that happened this month or this quarter. And yeah, over to you. Stage is yours after that.
Okay. One awesome thing which happened this month. There are many which one to begin with. So I think I'll be traveling to Mumbai for work, the work which I have been waiting for long. I think something has happened, so I think I won't be able to reveal it right now. Yeah, but we have got some very good work at Mumbai, so we'll be traveling for that very soon.
Awesome. Anybody here from Mumbai, you know that you need to reach Tarun and he's coming there soon. So if you want to chat, he's going to be in your city. So definitely reach out on LinkedIn.
Yes,
Over to you, Tarun. Have a lovely session. And I'm going to just hang out on the side and hear all about merchandising from you.
sure. Thank you, Vanshika, for the nice introduction. Okay, yeah, hi everybody. I know it's been a long day, but yes, it's first day and there are going to be 2 more days, and yes, it's going to be equally exciting. So I'll directly start without taking much time. Just allow me a moment to share my screen. Yeah, is it visible? I hope it's visible to everyone. And
Yeah, we can see. All good. We can see your presentation.
okay. Sure. So
I think you
yeah,
just stopped it.
I just stopped it. Sorry.
Yeah.
So although Vanshika has given an introduction, but still I would like to boast about myself before we begin. So वो ये ना आजकल चल रहा है मैं नहीं तो कौन बे. So if I need to boast about myself, who else will be? So currently, guys, I'm residing at Jaipur, India, and living here with my partner Anamika, who is a poet and a scriptwriter. Prior to Jaipur, I was in Delhi. I did my education in Delhi, and there I co-founded Nail Bites, which was my first venture, which was a communication and advertising agency. Post that, I co-founded Oot Patang in 2015, which was a merchandise brand where we conceptualized, designed, and manufactured merchandise for corporate brands, music events, personal brands, and movies. So yes, that's majorly about myself. And now I'm sharing my screen. Yes. Yeah, here are like a few of the brands for which we have worked in the past. Many of them are Bollywood production houses, or there are movies for which we have done merchandise. Okay. So now getting into our discussion. So first and foremost, I just want that we all are on the same page, because when we talk about merchandise, so there are two things. One is retail and visual merchandise, and second is brand merchandise. So retail visual merchandise is the way in which products are being kept on the shelf in a shop. So that's not what we are going to discuss. We are going to talk about the brand merchandise. And the simplest way which I can think of that how to put it forward that merchandising is as good as digital marketing, or how to like prove my point that it's a magnificent marketing tool. So I just drew a parallel with digital marketing. And digital marketing, as we all know, that we put money, we measure the ROS, we do the changes, and we get the result. So here is the basic simple process. There may be some step here and there missing or something, but more or less this is the process of digital marketing. We define the campaign objective. We then define target audience. We then design communication, whatever that's a banner or any ad or anything. Then campaign budget is defined. Campaign is executed, and on execution we get results. And then again there's a retargeting campaign. From there again we get the results. So this is the basic structure of the digital marketing. Now this is the structure for merchandising, more or less same. We start with merchandising objective, that why we want to do the merchandising, whether it is welcome kit for employees, or it is for some festive occasion for Diwali, or some new launch or some offer. Then we define target audience based on that objective. Next, we define the campaign budget. In case of digital marketing, generally budget can be decided on the next step, because more or less we know the cost. Yes, there are some variation, but in terms of merchandise there can be a huge variation in terms of cost. You can get a merchandise in, let's say, as low as 15, 20, 50 rupees, and it can go as high as much you want. It can be in lakhs. So we define the campaign budget beforehand. Then we design and manufacture the merchandise. We distribute it to the TG. Now this is a spot where brands effort are more or less over, because once we have given it to the target audience, we have distributed it, there's no say which brand has. So from there we get the results. So in this case, when we give a merchandise, most of the cases results are in terms of the brand recall or brand remembrance. That now retargeting is something which we did in the digital marketing, which is a paid thing. But in merchandising, retargeting is being done, but brand is not doing it. For example, if someone has a brand has given, let's say, a fridge magnet, then that magnet is on a fridge, and when I go, I see that magnet on the fridge on daily basis. Daily, I am seeing that brand. So it's a retargeting from the brand's perspective. It's automatic and it's repetitive. I'm not seeing it only once. Retargeting ad you will see only once by default, but here it's automatic and repetitive, so you get results. Again, the brand recall is very high. And not only this, there are three more points which generally are not part of the digital marketing campaign, but which are like additional benefits, and these are the like main benefits which you get from the merchandising. UGC content. So nowadays, whenever UGC is user generated content, so whenever, let's say, a new employee joins, so company gives them a welcome kit. It has, let's say, zipper, some laptop or something, some interesting stuff about the company, some utility stuff for the employees. So that person receives it, he likes or she likes it, then they click photo and put it on the internet. Or let's say if there's a marketing campaign, a new launch, from there a new merchandise is given to someone, and then they share it on internet. So that UGC content is like very authentic way of marketing. So one is that. Second, your consumer becomes your brand ambassador. Like if I like it, I would love to wear it, I would love to carry it with me. Let's say if it's a t-shirt, I would love to carry it. I will be like carrying it anywhere and people will be seeing it. Third and most important is word of mouth. If I'm liking it, I'm talking about it to the people. So you are not paying anything for people to talk about you, and they are the third party and the most authentic and unbiased ones. But next thing comes, that how exactly this merchandising will work. Like you can just put a logo on the zipper, but in most of the cases it won't work unless you are not a brand like Google. Google in itself has built a brand name for itself. Like anyone would love to wear almost anyone. I would love to wear a Google t-shirt. Why not? Why not flaunt it? Because Google in itself is that brand value. But if there's a new brand or a less known brand, for them just putting their logo on a product, on a zipper or on a glass or an mug, that's not exactly going to work for you. So how we go from here? So from here, this becomes interesting, that what were the ways which we use at Utpatang, keeping in mind that whenever we are designing something or we are conceptualizing something, so these were the facts or the things which we kept in mind. First and foremost, the relevance. So merch must has to be relevant to the brand or its services or to the industry. Level one is the simplest one. Just simply put the logo. If you are Nike, if you are Apple, or if you are Google, put the logo and it's done. Although I'm not saying that that's the only way to do it, but somewhat the results are being achieved that way. Second is, you should have you can have a direct relation to the service of the brand. So for example, I'll show you one product. So there's a company by the name of Shemaru Entertainment. So they were stalwarts in the Bollywood production house, Bollywood production, Bollywood movies. So they wanted to gift something to their employees, and then we thought that, okay, what can we make? So we made this clapperboard trophy. So it is a trophy, but it's in the shape of the clapperboard, which is like very much used object in the movie industry. So this is the relevance which you can create for your brand while thinking about the brand merchandise. You can go a step further also, where you can again brainstorm with your marketing team and come up with the uh, ideas which are more detailed and more quirky. So there was a web series, no, it was a movie on one of the OTT by the name of Final Call. So it was somewhat about the hijacking of aeroplane. So there we created, the client here was G5, and they wanted to create something which could be gifted to movie actors, to the producers, and to the distributors. So they wanted some big ticket gifting for them. So then we created this suitcase for them. So this is something which in older days people used to carry on airport, and particularly for the purpose of smuggling. So in the movies we have seen something like this. So we thought that why not create something of that look. So when we open it, there were few more merchandise in it which were related to uh, theme of the movie, which was about aeroplanes and hijack thing. So here we created this passport cover. It had a few like ensemble of multiple things, passport cover, and then there was a pen drive. I'm not quite sure how well visible it is, and since it's a one-way communication, so I'm just guessing, I hope it's visible. So it's a pen drive, and then there was a table clock. Okay, thank you, Anuj. Then there is a table clock in the shape of again aeroplane. Then there's a luggage tag, and then there was a neck pillow in this box itself, and all of them had a customized like places to hold these product. So this is the example of when you can go in deep and come up with something which is really quirky and utility both. So this is about the relevance. Now coming to the right material. So sometime when you're from the brand side, it becomes a bit difficult for people to think of like what material to use. So there you can take support from the merchandising brands, or maybe have some production partner who can help in that. the thing to be taken care of is that the material must be in sync with what the brand is about. It shouldn't contradict the ethos of the brand. So for example, let's say if there's a green company, so they cannot give a plastic pen as a merchandise. Or let's say when Justin Bieber came to India for his tour, so we were official merchandise partner for that tour, and they simply wanted a cap with Bieber written on top of it. We like that time like we had made caps in India for mass distribution purpose in the past, but this was a moment where we needed to be very cautious because Bieber is a brand in himself. So there we had to go for a like very high quality combed cotton t-shirt with a very high, like very dense and premium embroidery in which Bieber was written on it. I don't have sample of it to show it to you, but just saying that a cheap cap will completely bring down the brand value of Beaver. So the material has to be in sync with the ethos. And last point is value addition. Sometime like when we go to the market, most of the time as a brand, you will get same option from the communication agencies or from the brands or your production partner. Like there are bottles, there are sippers, there are t-shirt, mugs, and these kind of thing, because these are the utility products and it's a trend. So most of the people will offer you similar thing, but then there you can think or you can like brainstorm with your partner that how you can add value or add flavor of your brand into that product. So there is an event by the name of Ran Utsav. It happens in Gujarat every year, and while we were the merchandise partner for that event, we had to make t-shirt for it. And in India, you guys must have seen t-shirt where there's a in Rajasthan or in Gujarat, that there's a design where a man with turban and big mustache is put on the t-shirt. So that's a very popular and very mass design, and it's being used like at a very big scale. But the way it's being designed is done in a very lousy manner, and the printing is not good because these t-shirts are sold uh, from like Patri market to like very small shops and at a very low price. So then, but that's something which when tourists come, they relate to that design. But we couldn't sell that like low quality of material. So we did a little bit of like addition in that. So this is what we made, and this is a t-shirt which has certain uh, treatments on it. So this is not a simple printing. So just to give a quick idea about like what went behind this. So these mustaches, these are made of velvet, and then there is a sublimation patch which has been put on it. So sublimation is a printing technique from which colors don't fade. Then there's some stone work here, there is jerry work. So in total there's a canvas patch here. So in total there were around 7 treatments or 7 different kind of printing which were done on one t-shirt to achieve this thing. And yes, people were ready to pay premium for that, and it was one of the highest selling SKU for us in that event. So you can add flavor of your brand by in the existing or mass popular brands by doing some alteration or by like adding something into that. So now coming to the checklist part, because like I haven't kept the presentation very heavy, have just kept it very simple so that at least like if you can remember 2 or 3 things, I think my purpose will be solved. So first and foremost thing, always remember, is it relevant to the brand? We have just discussed that part. And second is it either exciting or utility for the consumer? So generally what happens, either of these two categories must be checked. The product should be either exciting when a person receives it, it should excite the person. So there was a product which was a silicone collapsible mug. Like when you collapse it, it's flat thing, and then you can expand it and it becomes a silicone mug. And it was like pitched as a very nice mug while you are traveling. although you can't drink water into that because that becomes bit clumsy because it is of silicone. But that was a very exciting product, and whenever people received it, they were like quite excited about it. So either it has to be very exciting or it has to be of high utility for the consumer. So when we say about utility, so zipper is a very basic product which are given in the mm, like given by the brands. So this was some brand elements which we picked up and we designed it. It was for a music event. But the utility here is that brand was giving free water on the venue, though they were not selling like they didn't allow bottles and any other eatables within the event venue. So people had to buy this sipper from them, and then they can have unlimited refill of water. And it was some like electric music festival, so it was overnight event. So this was a utility for that event on that venue. And just yeah, so this is a like I'm speaking from the agency side. The challenge which we face that most of the time brands come and then they say that we want this merchandise, but we want it end of this week or in 7 days. So that is something which as a brand I would like to like as an agency I would like to suggest to you as a brand that always have these things pre-planned, just like your other marketing campaigns. Because otherwise what will happen, one, you end up spending more, you end up getting like less options, and there are higher chances of errors because you don't get proper time for the sampling, and in the last minute production cost always rise. There are because of the error, or maybe because you don't cannot compare more prices. And in the merchandise, one of the another important thing that how it will be packed, because this is a bottle, but you cannot sell it like this because its value will go down. It has to go in proper carton or in some proper way. And like if this is if you are retailing it, and second is packing is important. If you are shipping it to some other place, then shipping packaging has to be very safe. And how it will be shipped is the another important point, because that shoots the cost of the product a lot higher. So there was one incident where once we made some merchandise for a brand in Singapore, and that was the first time we were sending, no, not Singapore, Canada. So it was one of the music show of Diljit Dosanjh, and we made hoodies for that event and we sent it. But and it reached Canada 3 or 4 days before the event. But then we received a call from the customs that some custom duty was to be paid. So we were not aware about that, and that was the first time we sent it out of India. And we had to pay custom duty, which was equivalent to around 60% of the merchandise value. So just keep these things in mind, that how it will be shipped and whether it will be like voluminous charge or weight charge. So just check these things with the vendor before you decide on what product you are finalizing. And one very important thing, I think everyone knows, that don't compromise on quality. Or everyone knows, but still it happens sometimes that brands give mandate that okay, we want this product, although our budget is only for let's say 100 rupees, but we want this. So my suggestion is it's better to go for the less quantity and not reduce the budget, because it is a physical thing. It is a product which stays with the customer or your consumer, and every time he or she sees a bad product, that's the image you leave with the consumer. So rather have less people with good image rather than more people with bad image. So that's all about my presentation. So if there are any questions, we can take up.
Awesome. Tarun, thank you so much for that. I mean, that story on Diljit Dosanjh was one for the books. I'm sure it left some
Oh,
very
that was a
lessons.
big shock for us.
Yeah, yeah. But see, I mean, every day is a learning day, right? You never know what's gonna happen, and you deal with it when it happens. Half of an entrepreneur's life is firefighting, the other half is doing what needs to be done. So totally
I think
understand.
that ratio we can change a bit more. It's 60-70% time firefighting and
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I feel you. Couple of people have asked to see the merch properly. Can you share your screen again on that slide where you had showed the merch?
Mm, okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ashok, I see your question. Just give me a minute. Let
Okay. Okay.
Tarun just
I'll
share his
stop
screen
the
again.
screen share.
You can all see the merchandise, then we'll get to questions.
Okay. Um, I'm not quite sure which one, so I'll just quickly, there were a couple of only, so I'll just quickly show. So this is the clapperboard trophy, which was made for Shimaru Entertainment. This one is bit bulky, so maybe for that reason it's not visible. So it's a basically it's a briefcase, and okay, just give me a moment. Yeah. So it's a briefcase, and it has like it was aeroplane shaped clock. There was aeroplane shaped pen drive. There was passport cover. The final call was the name of that series. It was a luggage tag. Then there were like some basic things also, because pen and notebook, these are like sadabahar, always acceptable things. And since it was again about the aeroplane, so it had, I think when you remove the top cover, then there was a neck pillow at the bottom.
That is insanely cool. Yeah, like what a packaging.
So
Amazing,
yes,
amazing.
thank you.
That is
So
very,
yes,
very well thought of.
so this is something actually where, so when my background is of the communication agency, and that's what worked in favor of us, because we were not a typical manufacturer. We didn't had our own production unit, because we never it was not like that we imported something and pitched it to our client. It was always the brief came from the
Mhm.
client, and then we put our brain, okay, for this is something which we can create. Then we found the vendors, okay, this is something which we can get from here, this we can get, like it was like
Awesome.
arrangement of different things from different places.
Yeah, that's awesome. Ashok has a question, and I know this is a big one in gifting and merchandising, which is less quantity but good quality with MOQ as well as making it cost effective. What are your tips on that?
Sorry, I'm not able to see the question. Ashok,
Uh,
okay, how do you solve the
Ashok,
less quantity but good quality problem with an aim to make it cost effective? Yes. So it's that typical problem, like we have to find a midway when we go for the lesser quantity. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, when we go for the lesser quantity, yes, it's a typical challenge that the costs are high. Then the vendor asks, okay, the MOQ will be this much, then your cost will come down. So there is no actually a very straightforward answer to it, except for one thing. It's just that go all creative which you can go. Because I remember when we had our agency, Nail Bites. So we were just started and we were just college pass out, and with no backup or anything. We were not like earning much, honestly. And but when it was our first anniversary, we wanted to give something to our client. Then we thought that, okay, what we can give. Then we went to a market in Delhi, Lajpat Nagar, and we just saw someone that he was selling these three like rickshaw of small size, made of these wires, aluminum wires, and they were like pretty cool, and we really liked it. We thought, okay, this is something really cool. And then we once saw it, we went back to that guy. We said, okay, we want just these 30 or 40 rickshaws. They were like quite cost effective. I don't remember the price now. And we just tied our logo sticker there and gave it to our client. Next
yeah.
year when we had budget, then we had some car kind of thing, again not a very regular car. Then on our third anniversary we did this aeroplane. So that became a trend for us. Okay, every year we will do something of, so it showed our growth also, rickshaw to car to aeroplane, and and like these were like quite cost effective.
Soon
So
you'll be
I think
making
what
Teslas, I think. That's the next move after plane. Tesla ही होगा और क्या हो सकता है? Awesome,
hope so.
awesome. Yeah, and one last question we have from Rakshita. She's asking, how do you measure the impact of merchandise marketing, and see the recall that it had? What are some ways that you do it?
Hmm. So there is till now I haven't yet found any specific way. So that is why, like, it's a very obvious thing. That is why most of the people go for the digital marketing at the beginning of the company, or when the like companies at the very early stage, and the funds are not that much available. If the fund is crunched, then the first preference is digital marketing, then because that's clearly measurable. But in terms of merchandise, that is more of a recall medium. So in recall, it's very difficult to measure the returns.
Right.
Although there are in some cases where people give coupon codes
Or
and few
QR
other
code,
thing, yeah,
something.
QR codes. So that may help, but like that's not an accurate measurement.
Absolutely. Well, I'm very happy and sad at the same time to say that this is the last session of today. Thank you so much for
And I
joining
think
us,
it
Tarun.
happened quite quick. I thought that I'll take more time.
It was lovely to have you here, and to everyone listening.